Hi, everyone. And look, I have the sun on my face because my cat knocked down my curtain. Damn it. Well, anyways, hi, everyone. This is OG Star Wars, your Legends girl. And I am happy to be with you guys this morning. And it is our weekly coffee chat. And here is my mug here. So Stig thought it was a porg at first, but it's Jabba and Salacious Crumb. And I'm enjoying just regular Folgers coffee with oat milk and sugar. That's all I have in that. And so what are you enjoying this morning, Stig, or evening for you?
Well, I'm enjoying a big cup of warm Earl Grey.
Ooh.
And I don't need a cucumber or a Snickers bar or a potato in it to enjoy it.
Oh, Lord. No one puts a cucumber in their stuff. All right.
That's what she said.
Right. I set myself up for that. All right. Hi, Lady Toriel.
Hello there.
Yes. And chat. Hope your day is going great, lady. Our Lady Grey tea in my cup this morning. Nice.
Yes, Lady Grey and I have Earl Grey.
Yeah. Lady Grey.
We are having a tea marriage, she and I.
And here we go. Hi, Seth. How you doing? And so we have 7 people jumping on board here, and probably many more will come here pretty soon. And I am excited about these next 2 comics that we are going to go over today. They are going to be, there's a lot of, I guess you could say, like Anakin reveals one of his secrets to someone. We find out what happens with Obiwan. So there's a lot going on in these comics, right, Stig? A lot of good stuff.
A lot of cool stuff. It's going to be lightsabers too.
Yeah, lightsabers, and then a bald woman.
Yeah.
You can't really see the bald woman because Stig's covering her up right here. So
yeah, she's all mine.
She's all yours. You're laying on her, basically. You're on top of her.
Yep.
Yeah. So
while sipping my Earl Grey.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know how that works, but
Earl Grey Jedi.
Earl Grey Jedi, huh? Earl is a gray Jedi.
Yep.
That was just very corny for me, but that's okay. It's morning time, and I'm on a new schedule right now, and I was telling Stig that. So, it's my teenager is back in high school, back in class, and so now I'm like up earlier to run her to school and stuff like that. So here I am, and so I'm living off of like adapting to a new schedule, and it's fun. And here we go, Lady Toriel. Oh my. And then we have Jamie. How are you doing? How is everyone doing? And please share in the chat what you guys are enjoying while beginning the show. Again, I'm morning time. That's why it's coffee chat. So I have coffee. One day I'll probably have a cappuccino, maybe, who knows, since that I'll be out the door earlier before coffee chat starts. So
Jamie sounds Belgian.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if he can correct me or whatever in the chat if I'm wrong, but it sounds Belgian.
Belgian, huh? Okay. Awesome. Well, let us know in the chat there. Yeah. So Stig, before we get into the comic, what Star Wars novels are you enjoying right now? And any lore novels at that?
At the moment, I've been reading the Legacy Volume 1.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
I'm a bit past the halfway mark, so that means after I reach the halfway mark, I read faster and more because it's like downhill, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I was close. That means it's Holland.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's one of the two.
Awesome. And so, so what else are you enjoying? I know that you probably have a couple that you go switch in between, right? At least.
Yeah, I've been well. I haven't started the second Dark Nest book yet because I'm doing those on audio.
Yeah.
So I like to play old video games. And I turn off the sound on the games, and I have a Winamp playing the audio book while I'm playing, which is quite fun.
Yeah.
And next to me in bed, though, I do have the Visions of the Future novel.
Okay.
Which hopefully I'll finish before the thing.
Okay.
It's a big book.
It is. And we haven't decided a date yet, so I'll get on Twitter today and give you guys ideas for dates. So in February, it might be towards the middle more than towards the beginning. So and that probably will be better especially for you, since you're brand new to that duology.
Yeah, I don't want to rush through it. I want to, because last time I did the abridged audio just to catch up. And I feel I lost a bit.
Yeah, you do. If you do a bridge audio, it's plot heavy, but there's other little details that are left out that can be significant to like maybe Luke's story or someone else's story that it's not quite like Dark Nest trilogy. If you do listen to them on Audible or whatever, it's a bridge so that you lose like R2 revealing Padme to the family and stuff. So you miss those little bits of continuity nuggets that they probably didn't feel was important to put inside the Audible.
Yeah, so. That one wasn't as abridged as the old ones, though. So it was like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, and I think though that like even that one there, it leaves out what R2's what's going on with R2 and how he reveals events of Revenge of the Sith to the family. So it's very, very interesting, you know. So even if you I love it for that. There's other reasons why I love the Darkness trilogy. But I do recommend it, especially if you love to hear, if you're curious about how Luke and them hear about who their mom is and stuff like that. It's very, very emotional. Very emotional.
Yeah, it's I think back in the day I bought the Legacy comics. And I read them, and then I wanted to get to Fate of the Jedi, so I probably skipped the Darkness ones, because the books I have, all of the books from New Jedi Order and out, basically, they're almost brand new.
Oh, okay.
Because I bought them brand new back in the day, and unlike others, I treat my paperback books very well, so they look like they're fresh off the store.
Unlike others, huh? So you're taking a jab at me?
If the shoe fits.
Oh my God. All right. Thank you, Miss Martin Muses, for the Rose 199 super sticker. You are amazing, lady. And I do have Subhubun coming in as well. And good morning. Those who are coming in, what are you enjoying this morning, or whatever time frame it is that you're in? What is your preferred beverage? Let's see here. And who else do we have coming in? All right. So we have a steady flow of people coming in. So yes, we're talking about Visions of the Future, which is basically the coming literature review. And again, those who are going to be on the panel, I know a few of you guys are here. You know, I will get out some date and time ideas for you guys so that we can brainstorm on what's better. Since this is a big book, thicker book, you know, we'll make sure that's enough time so people can read through it if they're following along. So yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and look at the comic here. And so we look at this. We have Anakin and Al-Sharad Het right here. So
indeed.
And this, whoops, wrong screen. Come on, Laura, get your stuff together. This is Star Wars Republic number 59, Enemy Lines. And so this right here, when I read through the collection here of all these comics, I couldn't put them down. I couldn't put it down because the storyline and the events were so amazing, and just, you know, it captured you, and you know, and when you get captured in a story, you want to know what's going on again and again and again, and keep, you know, reading.
Yeah, I know that's what happened to me. I was just gonna catch up.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago, and then I was like, fuck it, I'm reading all of it.
Yeah. And so we have Anakin here, and he's with Asherad Head, and I think there it says is they're on Arnagor or Aragor Argonor. Did I say that right? I freaking butchered it. I'm sorry.
If you zoom in a bit,
Yeah.
I'll have a look.
Let's see here. Oh, I hate the zoom sometimes. I need to get a regular mouse. Yeah. So Order Arnagor is an unimportant planet and of itself at the moment. Argonar. Thank you.
Or Argonar.
Argonar. Yeah. And so this is basically a desert planet similar to Tatooine. And we have two Tatooine natives, basically those who were either born or raised on Tatooine. On this planet here. So it's very significant to this little arc that's going on in the beginning of the story as well. So we have Anakin and the clone troopers, Asherad with his apprentice. And so right now, Anakin doesn't have a master just yet.
He's without a master because they think Kenobi's dead.
Correct.
Anakin doesn't, though. But
yeah,
everyone else does.
Yeah, exactly. And then, so let's see here. The apprentice gets shot, or
there's an explosion. The apprentice and the clone troopers gets it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a Nikto, I believe.
Yeah.
A Clatonian Nikto. I think that's the term.
Clatonian Nikto.
Yeah, it's from the old phrase that they use in horror movies. Klaatu Verada Nikto. So they have Clatonian Nikto.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, it's in the Evil Dead too, in the book in the Evil Dead.
Interesting.
So, yeah, that's the origin of it.
Okay. Awesome.
So don't ask me how I know.
How do you know, Ben? You said don't ask me, and so you set yourself up for something.
I have no clue. I picked it up somewhere.
You picked it up somewhere, and it just stuck in your head. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So we have the apprentice gets caught up in the explosion basically, and his name is Bot. And Anakin, we all know his arc. He wants to save everybody. He has that about his character, and
his apprentice bought it.
He bought it, huh? And here we go. And so Anakin wants to save him, and basically, Asherad reminds him he's gone, and Anakin doesn't want to leave him either there, but he eventually tells him, we need to leave him, so they're taking care of him right here. There's nothing they can do.
Anakin is pissy because it's another loss, and he can't deal with that.
Yes, look at his face.
Yeah, emo.
He's like very annoyed. He's like, what the hell? Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Antifa.
Antifa. He says he shouldn't be dead. You should have been here. Together we might have been able to save him. So he's also putting blame.
Yeah.
And that's what he's good for, is like that blame end too as well. And we see that and this is why I like these comics and stuff. And, even Tartakovsky's Clone Wars better than for Anakin's arc than the Clone Wars. And I know that there might be a few of you guys in chat that don't agree with me, and that's perfectly fine. Enjoy what you want to enjoy with Star Wars. But to me, and Stig might agree, that Anakin's arc is a lot better fleshed out with the emotional and with, and the contemplating between the dark side, light side, about saving others, blaming others, and very angsty because he's already been tainted by the dark side when he, killed the Tuscans.
Yeah, this comic series does it way, way better than the cartoon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's supposed to be a war, and you're supposed to see losses like this, horrific losses. Where are they in the Clone Wars series?
Mm-hmm.
It's just Anakin and Ahsoka and Kenobi wins every battle single-handedly.
Yeah.
Which means the Separatists were no threat. In these in these comics, they are big time.
And did you notice that's a pattern with Filoni? Is that when you look at again, this is not bashing anybody for enjoying The Mandalorian, but that's the same thing in The Mandalorian. The clone troop or the troopers, stormtroopers are not a threat either, really.
Yeah, even the dark troopers.
Yeah.
It's just every time an enemy comes close to the heroes, that enemy's threat range gets lowered to 0 just to make the heroes look heroic.
Yeah. Like
So
even when, Asajj Ventress was put in the Clone Wars, and even General Grievous, they were basically dumbed down in a sense with their character as a villain.
yeah, and now they're gonna do Thrawn in a live action thing. They've already showed us that in Rebels show, he's dumber than a sack of rocks.
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and move on. And
I guess they need to have him drink the IQ tea.
IQ tea?
Yeah. In episode 1. Just to...
All right. Back to the comic here. They're scouting. You can see that it looks like a windstorm is coming in as well. And we have these creatures here that they see here.
Yeah, they look, I don't like the look of them. They look too bony and horny. Sorry, that sounds pervy, but
bones and horns.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, let's go ahead and move on from this one. All right. So again, like I said, a big old dust storm, windstorm is happening, and it's very similar to Tatooine. Again, he doesn't want to leave, bots, but they have to, and he's
these
not.
Are also the only 2 Jedi from Tatooine.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And he's telling them
they get a team up.
Exactly. They got to team up. He's also saying, these conditions are very similar to Tatooine, so you know what we have to do. Excuse me. So he's reminding Anakin about his survival skills that he learned living on Tatooine. So
yeah, and there we have Ki-Adi-Mundi arriving with clones and Boltar Swan.
Mm-hmm.
That's the female Jedi. We see her in the arena in the Clone Wars, and we haven't seen her since. And we're not going to see her for a while after this either. She's one of the Jedi they completely neglected in the comic. But she has a tiny arc, though. It's fleshed out a bit more later in the Empire omnibuses, where, spoiler, Vader's hunting down Jedi.
Yeah. Yeah, and Stig was like, "This is one you can cosplay." He was telling me.
Yeah, Laura can cosplay Boltar Swan.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, I can cosplay Vader and stab her.
Well, thank you so much. Oh goodness! All right, so they arrive here with their clone troopers and everything. So let's go ahead and, is there anything significant we need to say about this one, or can we move on?
No, it's always fun to see Ki-Adi-Mundi, though.
Yes, it is.
He is really fleshed out in the comics, and we haven't done the episode 1 comics, and he has a 4 or 6 part comic there. That tells his background, and you get to see his planet and all that. So if you want to learn more about him, there's more more comments.
Exactly. There's so many, like we're staying to a plot arc here, and that's what Stig and I were talking about before we came, before the channel, before we came live here with you guys here on Coffee Chat, is like, should we continue the same arc going into the Republic where we get Luke and Jabim and stuff like that? So we're planning that. So stay tuned. So those following along with the comics, then we'll let you guys know.
My suggestion was that we do the comics that has to do with the Jedi we see in the Clone Wars comics.
Yeah.
and then move on to Rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
But that was just a suggestion, though.
Yeah. And so, so that's a little bit of planning, because if you're following along with the comics and reading along, or, or know them and following along because of that, that might be initial plan. There's so many different ways we can take, the lore arc from here, like, because there's so many comics that tie into it, even Legacy.
Yeah, I think it's it's good to plan ahead,
Yeah.
because we still have one omnibus to get through.
Yes.
And I was also thinking, if we were ever to do the Old Republic ones,
Uh-huh.
we should wait until after that hardcover omnibus that gets sold this summer, right?
Yeah.
So people might get it
Oh,
instead of
yeah.
doing it before, and then, you know, yeah, it's just something to think about.
Exactly. All right. So we have Ashrad Het and Anakin here facing the sandstorm, basically the wind sandstorm here, and they are inside. Are they meeting those creatures? And I didn't write down the creatures' names here, so I don't know their names, and I don't know if you remember them, Stieg.
No, they're basically desert rhinos in a sense.
Yeah, exactly. If you haven't got with the horns, the horned animals, sorry.
Yeah,
But yeah, so, and they're facing them down. It looks like they're inside a cave area. So that's what they're doing here. And so basically Ashrad Het is putting him in place. I am a Jedi, and so we are brothers. So basically Anakin doesn't care for Ashrad. He thinks he's full on Tusken. He doesn't realize who Ashrad Het is, and not to give out any more spoilers, that will be revealed here in this comic. And so he doesn't have a respect at all for Tuskens, and we know why.
yeah. And it makes perfect sense for Anakin to be very distrustful of the Tuskens.
Exactly. And he goes, your father was Sharad Het, a famous Jedi, but you are half Tusken. So he thinks he's half Tusken, like genetically. And so basically he has no respect. So, and then he tells him what, he goes, a true Jedi has no use for, prejudice. So basically he puts Anakin in his place right here.
Yep.
So this is a very interesting story between the two. As they're fighting for survival, things are being revealed and all that. So, and then we have what it looks like. What is this? A Sarlacc tentacles or something?
Yeah, it's a Sarlacc. You can see the beak.
Yeah.
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 There's a Sarlacc pit in the cave.
Yes.
Sarlaccs are not only on Tatooine; they're on other planets too.
Exactly.
I don't know why, but they are.
Yeah, if you look into the history of even banthas, there's banthas on different planets too, but there's various species of banthas as well. And so probably from cross, taking the species elsewhere, I don't know. But for Sarlaccs, I can't really say that people are gonna, randomly just pick up a Sarlacc because they want, that type of species on that planet. I mean, who would want to do that? So basically they encounter the Sarlacc here, and it looks like they're inside at the bottom here. So
yeah, they're at the bottom, and something happens that we've seen in The Mandalorian. Look, a worm dragon thing eats the Sarlacc inside a cave. Where have we seen that before? Oh yeah, The Mandalorian. That also ripped off stuff from the comic we talked about last time.
Yeah.
Those glowing moth things and stuff. It's interesting that they ripped off stuff from the same comic series, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's almost as if they read them and then just picked and chose what to use.
Well, like with and I'm going to go back to this and not to hurt his feelings, because this basically is fact, and Filoni admits this, and also fans have called him out on it too, is that he randomly takes characters and places them in without knowing their full, development arc.
Yeah. Yeah, he said that, which is why he had a dead Jedi show up in the Clone Wars.
Yeah. And so without, following up on like, okay, so what's this character's arc? Where are they out in this part of the lore here? And, what are their influences, to properly, continue that character's arc or that species arc or the arc of, the story or
Yeah.
whatever.
Which was what it
And
was supposed to do. It was
mhm,
supposed to stick to what came before, and he didn't.
yeah,
All he did was he looked at some characters and went, "Oh, this guy looks cool. Let's put him in the Clone Wars."
yeah.
Nobody told him, "Hey, this character is dead."
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not highlighting here, but Solon Sasson says rumors say there's a Sarlacc at Lucasfilm right now.
Yeah, it's called Kathleen Kennedy's vagina.
Oh, ew,
That's
too much TMI. No. Let's not go there. All right. I think you're kind of like insulting the Sarlacc in itself.
I don't know.
All right. So basically, it says, I'm making a meal out of this, or it's making a meal out of its Sarlacc. So basically, it's eating it. They're realizing it. And it says, no, master, don't ignite the lightsaber. I can feel its mind with mine. So we already know that, Anakin can communicate with other species and stuff. We've seen it in Attack of the Clones and how he's able to control, and calm, and
Yeah.
stuff. So he has that ability.
I mean, look at it though. It's a worm eating a Sarlacc. It's
Mhm.
it's mhm.
Mhm. And then, so, Anakin's like, telling him how he feels and how he, and his feeling towards that. And then, Asherad hit, and we're going to go to the next page after that. But he goes, and I thought this was kind of funny because look at Anakin's face here. And Asherad had said, you would have made a good Tusken. Just putting some salt in the wounds without even realizing it.
Yeah.
So his face is so annoyed there. I'm going to go back to it. So it kind of makes me laugh at that too as well, because we know exactly why Anakin hates Tuscans. We know why he is now tainted with the dark side a bit, and so of course he's going to have this face, but I can't help but go at
You know
that.
what it looks like? It looks like that meme a bit where
Uh-huh.
a lady says to her husband that out of all your brothers, you have the biggest penis.
Oh.
And then you get that expression.
Out of all your brothers, I'm married to one of your brothers, but out of all the brothers.
Yeah, there's a lot implied there. It's like an insult and praise at the same time.
That's hilarious. So let's go on. So
Yeah,
so
they
now go ahead.
they climb out of the pit and find a building of sorts
Mm-hmm.
with alien people.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, Kiari-Mundi and Boltar Swan are leading troops, and I do believe they're looking for Anakin. And
Yeah.
at the same time, but the mission comes first, right?
Correct. Yeah, so they need to get back to their base, but they encounter, like Stig said, these aliens in the building there, and then and it says our duty is to find a way to rejoin our forces, basically. So they're searching, so they're trying to meet up. So, and here we go. So we're there in the building here, and
Yeah, they're finding ships, and they need to activate a ship. And Ashrod Het offers Anakin a piece of his lightsaber
mm-hmm.
because that will help the. I'm not sure which piece it is. Power thing.
Yeah,
Power
it's a
crystal
power converter. No joking. Sorry, I had to go there.
Power converter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ashrod Het is without a lightsaber, and he is leaving to make a gaffy stick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what's so neat is that he's given the power cells to the lightsaber, including his father's. So yeah.
Which means he's come a long way.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the early comics we talked about, he was all about his father, and
yeah. an attachment to that lightsaber because of his father.
Yeah, so he has come a long way, and attachment is gone.
Exactly. And that's a thing that, I think that is like I believe that Jedi of that time forgot is that attachment is not necessarily letting go, like saying it doesn't exist and stuff. Attachment is just like no longer needing to hold on to that stuff, even though it's still there and it's still valuable to you. You don't need to hold on to it anymore. It doesn't affect you in that way. And maybe that's just the yogi kind of studies that I'm reading right now. And because in yoga, I'm going through another teacher training to be advanced yoga teacher. And it talks about attachment in the myth and the lore of yoga too, as well.
The yoga is so advanced, you can now bend so far that you disattach your limbs.
Yeah. I'm no longer attached to this body.
Yeah. Leg crawling around the floor and stuff.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on. So as the hours go by, the storm's fury grows. So basically they're sheltered from the storm. They get away from the Sarlacc, all that. The Sarlacc is basically worm food. And so Anakin is like remembering here. There's a lot of things he's remembering as he works on, the ship and stuff. So we see him thinking about Bot and what happened with that. And you could see like worry and sweat on his face, from working and thinking and stuff. And he is so much into his head. There's so much depth going on. And then he goes into even, I think, thinking, is he thinking about when he slaughtered the Tuscans down there or something? Or no. The bottom there is those people found them, right?
Yeah, the aliens with...
I need to close my curtain.
That uses clubs for some reason. They have spaceships, but they use clubs.
Yeah, I'm closing my curtain, so go on. Because the light is shining too much on everything, and I can't read.
Yeah, Anakin's rage issues are flaring up.
Well, look at his face at the bottom. It's like red. Look at that.
Yep.
Yeah, so he does have a lot of issues, and there's a reason why. And again, like I said, this covers his arc so well in the emotional state that he's in.
Yeah, this is absolutely 100% an Anakin comic.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So now we get to the part here where he starts remembering about the Tuscans.
Yeah, he basically sees them as Tuscans and goes ape shit.
Yes.
And
sorry that my phone went off. Go ahead.
Yeah, and he basically goes into full psycho rage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's hallucinating.
Yeah, he's like, "You're my kill." Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
They're mine. Huh?
He's not right in the head.
No, he's not. And he's like, they're mine to kill, mine. So this is like, it's like, so if you haven't read these yet, please pick them up, especially if you're interested in the development with Anakin between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. It's a great story, and you will understand him even more. I mean, I understood him throughout the movies and stuff like that, but this gives more depth, basically.
Yeah, this volume 2 of the Clone Wars, people are charging an arm and a leg for this.
Yeah.
On eBay. But they're not for volume 1 and 3. It's odd.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff like that on eBay. There's certain omnibuses that, I don't know, people want $100 for.
Yeah. It's mad. It's maddening. It's crazy. Yeah. So Kevin Tinuche, I just have to bring this up right here. OG stars, when will your yogi training involve stealing picnic baskets? And then off topic, Woe is not blocked by Justin Ireland, or who is not blocked by Justina Ireland?
Yeah, she blocked me.
Yeah.
Never said a word about her.
Yeah.
As far as I can remember.
Yeah.
I probably would have though, but.
Well, she took care of that. Now you can't say shit.
Yeah, she actually complained about people not liking her book, before people had a chance to read it.
Mm-hmm.
And she played the racist card.
I know. It's
And
crazy.
then it backfired, and now she blocked people. I mean, so basically, she insulted a hell of a lot of fans. It
Mm-hmm.
backfired, and then she blocked them. That's customer service for you.
There you go. There you go. All right, so let's move on here. Let's go back to the
Oh,
good of Star Wars here, and it's this right here. So we still have Anakin. Anakin still is like envisioning, the Tuscans and stuff. And this is Ashrad Het right here, right? That jumps in.
yeah. He
Yes.
tries to. Well, he's still seeing Tuscans everywhere, and then there is a Tuscan in front of him, and he starts attacking Asherah Het.
Yeah, exactly. And it says, I know who you are, what you are. Filthy, sneaking Tuscan animal hiding behind your mask. Your kind tortured and killed my mother and I'm glad I killed them all. So basically, he just revealed, and so it's covered in red. So there's a lot of anger and emotion in what he's saying right there. A lot. And so he basically revealed to Ashrad Het what happened. And he goes, Skywalker, I want you to listen to me, look at me, know who I am, not just what you see in your mind's eye. I am, and so basically they're making that revelation of what's going on. Again, Anakin is in blind rage, and Ashrad takes his Gaddafi stick and basically slaps him, hits him across the face with it, and knocks him down. And so they have their little chat here, and basically he does reveal who he is to Anakin.
Yeah, he takes off his mask,
Mm-hmm.
which is something a Tuscan should never do.
Mm-hmm.
But it shows that he's more Jedi now than Tuscan.
Exactly. So because of this scenario, Anakin is able to say something to someone that he's never really talking or spoken of, only maybe to Palpatine. I think he revealed that to Palpatine about what happened with his mom and what he did.
Yeah.
But other than that, no other Jedi, not even Obi-Wan Kenobi, knew of this. And so not only does, Anakin was able to release some of that tension in a way, he also helped Ashrad Het, become, priorities of being a Jedi come first and foremost as well. So there's a lot of growth. There's a lot of like growth here in differences between the two. And then Ashrad Het keeps Anakin's secret as well. So there's a lot going on here. So he reveals himself, and there he is.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. And for those of you who have read other comics, this guy shows up later.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
He's a bit older, though.
Yeah. So see Anakin's face right here. So he has his face tattooed, and he goes, your markings, did they? And he goes, basically, I marked myself to set myself apart so that under my under my outer face, I would not have to be human. That's deep, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
And later we see that, how he takes on another form.
Yeah, he's an important character in the future of the EU.
Exactly. That affects another Skywalker.
Yeah.
So he has his history with the Skywalkers in a sense.
Yeah. And then the Boltar Swan and Kiari are about to fight the Separatists. And meanwhile, Anakin has fixed the ship, and they're flying through the tunnels. Mm-hmm. And then they get chased by the crate dragon. I mean, sandworm.
Yeah. The sandworm. Strong one. Let's see here. Hello, open airlock. Glad that you are here with us. Let's see here. So here we go. So there's the sandworm here and the ship there. And there's a lot of going on here.
Yeah, Anakin decides he has a plan.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to stick his worm somewhere. That's his plan.
That sounds so, yeah, I'm not going there. let's see here. And so we have Miss Swan here, and that crazy worm thing there, but basically it looks like it has like a face in the middle. Like when I first read this, I had to like really look at it because it looks very deceiving. Like there's like a face in the middle right there of it. So
yeah, it comes out of the ground and in the middle of the droids.
Mm-hmm. The Roger Rogers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so Anakin and Asherad are flying in there. So that's their plan. And so basically, did they shoot it or what happened
No,
here?
it just leaps up and then dives down.
Okay.
And then Anakin crashes the
Yes.
ship, and it gets hit actually by a laser beam, and yep, they jump out and fight.
Exactly. And so I'm going to read what's in the green right here. It says, your mother's death, the slaughter that followed, you could not have told any other Jedi. Otherwise, you would have already faced disgrace. And now you have told me. So basically, they're still kind of conversing with what and Anakin had told him. So, and so again, they're still fighting. And he reminds Asherad Het, we are Jedi Master Het. So there's a lot of going on in this and stuff. And then this is later, the tide is turned, the Confederate troops, their line broken, fall to the more focused Republic forces. The battle ends and the survivors gather together. So, and they're all together here. And of course, we still see Anakin. There's a lot going on in his face. Like I like how they did his face and his worry, his facial, his emotions in these comics because we see a lot.
Yeah, and Ki-Adi-Mundi senses something's going on, but
yeah,
Asherad Het doesn't tell on him.
Yeah, exactly. So again, if you have these comics, yay, reread them and stuff. If you don't, I would try to find, go on eBay or whatever and try to find them a cheap deal to get them.
As an alternative, they are available on, ebook.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called. Kindle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not the same though as having the actual comic. It really isn't. But if there's no other alternative, then it's better to have them than not have them, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. All right. So let's see here. And then so let's move on. What was going on here? Like I read this a week ago and I didn't really review them again, just a little bit. So basically they're still talking about Anakin. Basically he's like, you didn't tell him. And he goes, it wasn't his burden to tell Anakin's story. And so, Asherad Het leaves, that honor, not honor, but that disgrace or that story for Anakin to share, and so he honors him that way. You need to tell your story. It's not mine to tell. So.
Yeah, and then he asks him, would you do it again?
Mm-hmm.
And Anakin just emos a bit and then gets more emo and says yes.
Basically, yeah. Yep. And that's a state of mind. And it's funny because, that's how humans feel about the Tuskens on Tatooine. That they're animals. And the Tuskens are basically the natives of Tatooine. And, but
they are, but they still do atrocities.
Yeah, they do. And humans do atrocities too. Like if Kenobi novel is a great book to read about more of the Tusken lore as well.
Yeah, it actually ties into these comics.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that. They had continuity.
Exactly. And, Obi-Wan does get to talk about Asherad Het in that and stuff. And his influence on one of the Tusken tribes.
Yeah. Oh, we
Mm-hmm.
have Open Airlock Policy has joined us as well as an Autobot Megatron.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. And thank you guys for joining. And so now we have this wonderful lady
Yeah.
and what's going on with her. So we'll get into that, and I'm going to go ahead and take a look at some of the chat here. So thank you again, Open Airlock, for joining us. Het was just another amazing aspect of this series. I agree. Totally agree. And then Lady Toriel, what? The what? Worm? And then she has laughing faces with that. And Autobot Megatron. Good morning, fellow Autobots. I'm currently in the heat of battle with Decepticon Justice Division, so I'll be unable to listen today. Well, I'm glad you're jumping in and at least saying hello. This will be
It sounds like he's tweeting from jail.
tweeting from jail. How is that? Like what do you get from that?
That's I don't know. I wouldn't speculate.
Yeah. So thank you again for dropping in anyways. No matter how busy you are, this will always be available for the rewatch. And Grand Admiral Adam. I have all 9 trade paperbacks for the Clone Wars comics without the Legends brand on them. Woo! Wow. Yes.
Yeah, those are the white ones, right?
Yes. Yes. And even like they're the original ones are still available for purchase, by people like on eBay and stuff like that, but they can cost a pretty penny as well. So depending on which comic you get and stuff. And then this page is the page is absolutely perfect. So we've been enjoying going through these as well. And then those who are members of the channel, I do have emoticons in there of like different Star Wars characters that you can share. I have Jaina, Jason, I have R2D2. I think I have Obi-Wan Kenobi in there now. I think. If not, then I'm meaning to put him in there. So go ahead and, if you want to, use them, they're available for you as well. So, Stig, what do you think about that last comic with Anakin and Asherad Het?
I don't know. I'm replying to a text message.
I can hear you all tick, 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 tick. So basically that means he just half listened to what I said.
Yep.
Yep. And see,
I figured you'd talk to the chat, so,
Yeah, I know. I'm talking with you and the chat. So let me scroll up a little bit more and let you convene in your little personal life there. All right. Kevin T. Joche, imagine what Kai Andy Mundi would look like with a helmet on.
Probably like a torso and shoulders with a beer can on top of it.
Yeah. What was that? Those the Conehead people family. Remember that?
Yeah, they were called the Coneheads.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of similar to that. Similar to that. Let me see here. And there we go. All right. So, Stig, what I asked you is, what did you think about that last comic with, Anakin and Asherad's arc?
I'd give it a 10 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah. It ties into everything, fleshes stuff out, completely advances Asherad's development.
Uh-huh.
And also Anakin's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree. I agree.
It's doing exactly what it was supposed to.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, no matter how Star Wars may be going in the right direction, like how rumors are, Star Wars is going in the right direction with within the new canon. I don't think it's ever going to live up to these. When it comes to
no chance in hell, because they're if they want to. Sometimes if you want to fix stuff, you need to tear down the junk.
Yeah.
Right. And they haven't done that, so they're basically trying to build something solid on a very broken foundation, and it's not gonna work, because stuff like Rebels and shit in Mandalorian and all that is gonna affect everything, and the sequel trilogy too. They're not gonna get rid of the sequel trilogy. I mean, like it or not, the sequel trilogy made over $1 billion each. They're not
Mm-hmm.
gonna just toss that away.
Yeah. No, they're not. They're not gonna. And any other things like comics that came out, novels and stuff, they're not just gonna disregard. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
well,
easier to disregard novels, but still.
the novels and Star Wars comics that
Mhm.
they're releasing are pointless because they ignore them completely when they're making movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
I mean, it was canon that Leia never got Jedi training from Luke, and then Episode 9 happens, and you get a flashback. Leia
Mhm.
training with Luke.
Yeah. 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 They're not paying attention to their continuity, and that's probably why Matt Martin put out the statement about, continuity is what you make of it. But then it's like seems like every other month they're contradicting which direction they want to go. And that's not a good look for a franchise that built itself upon its own fantasy history so well. It's not a good look whatsoever. So, Spartan Flash Century. So, Spartan, thank you for joining us. He says, OG Star Wars, would you like an Abeloth icon someday? Maybe. We'll see. I think I have now, for so many members that join my channel, will determine how many icons I can issue for everybody. So I think I have two spaces for two brand new icons or emoticons or whatever. So maybe I will. I don't know. So in the comment, you guys put what you would like to see for the emotes. And those who are members share what I have going on right now, so that they have an idea. So Grand Admiral, Clone War comics and novels fit so much better with the prequels than TC animated series. Exactly. And that's what we were talking about earlier, is that it does. Soul Assassin, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, they already, once they threw out the EU, they already created a big problem, so. I mean, mind you, they have every right to say we want to make it our own lore. They have every right to do that and stuff. But when you know, dishonor fans of the franchise who helped Star Wars stay alive with the EU when there was no movies out yet, you're dishonoring, and that's disingenuous to the long-term fans that helped keep Star Wars alive.
Yeah, and then you have long-term fans starting to attack other long-term fans because they don't think the Mandalorian is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So when there's no unity
Yeah.
behind what came before,
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm sorry, this we're not gonna get anything like this ever again.
Yeah.
Because if people are happy with the bar being set at 2 out of 10,
Mm-hmm.
then that's the bar that's set for Disney. They don't even have to make effort with continuity anymore.
Yeah, I know. It's like they sunk that bar. They
Yeah,
sunk it. So
yeah,
there just has to be no effort whatsoever.
yeah. The bar used to be set at 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
You know, for 10 years at least,
Yeah.
and now it's at 2 because at least it's better than the Last Jedi. Well, that doesn't say much, does it? I mean, Police Academy 7 is better than The Last Jedi, and that's a shit movie.
Well, my sir, you do have a point there. So at Stick Kenobi, if they on the slim chance erase the ST, I could see them slap the Infinities logo on it.
Uh,
I think
I
that's
think
go
that's
ahead.
very slim. Uh,
Mhm.
but the thing is, the sequel trilogy has a lot of fans. There's a lot of
Mhm.
people out there that think Rey is awesome, and
Yeah.
she's their favorite character and all that, and they're gonna raise hell if all of a sudden she's an Infinite's character, right?
Yeah.
I agree though she should be because the sequel trilogy makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
But they have a huge fan base there that they have to keep in mind as well as but I don't know. They did piss all over the EU fans, so it wouldn't surprise me if they piss all over the sequel trilogy fans later on.
Yeah, if they could do it with one faction, they can continue to do it to another, basically.
Yeah,
And it's not a good look because you never want to alienate any part of the fandom, no matter if you're, and I'm just gonna throw these labels out. They have the casual fans who only love the movies. Then you have different degree of EU fans, and then you have the hardcore fans who love it all. And it doesn't make you less of a fan no matter where you sit on that fence, whatever. Because we even have fans that enjoy Disney and George Star Wars. And so there's many different elements of fans, I guess you can say. But when they start alienating any type of degree of fan, it does harm to the product.
yeah, it does harm to the product, the fan base, and the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Because you see it all the time. People say, Star Wars fans are the worst and all that,
Mm-hmm.
and well, they're right. You know, there's a lot of shit being done by Star Wars fans.
Mm-hmm. And it creates, and like Stig, I'm going to follow up with that with Stig about, Star Wars fan being, awful, I guess you can say.
Yeah,
Some of that does go with the division that was created, because now you have, this one faction tearing down this other faction and creating this chaos here and assuming and what have you, instead of enjoying Star Wars. And just because myself, like if I see something that contradicts the overall lore that's especially established in the movie, so mind you, let's take the EU out of it, and it contradicts one of George's movies, and I point it out, then those fans are like, "Oh, you just hate Star Wars. You're a Disney Star Wars hater." No, I'm just pointing out that there is a continuity error that they overlooked or they didn't bother to look into, and there's a huge difference with that. And I see a lot of it. That's why basically my heart stays within George Lucas era. Yes, even then for his Star Wars, it wasn't exactly perfect, but it still had great continuity. There was still a lot of detail. And if something did happen with, continuity error, they made sure that it was retconned and taken care of. And they fixed it right away, or as fast as they could. Whereas with Disney Star Wars, they don't. They just like, oh, well, hyperdrive, how that works, from gravity. We'll just keep on doubling down on it.
yeah. Grand Admiral Adam says, "What kind of fan reads the RPG books and reference books?" I do. I know Open Airlock Policy does too.
Yeah.
Because the stuff in the RPG books is
Mm-hmm.
accurate.
Yeah.
That's accurate lore.
Yeah. And even Matt Wilkins does. He does have a couple videos about reading the RPG and stuff, and he has binders that he printed full of the RPG reference books too as well. And
Yeah, Matt Wilkins is an insane person, but I like him anyway.
yeah, you would. All right. Spartan Flash. I have a feeling the Rylos will at least will only last until the next big ship comes along. Then all the merch will all get tossed on the big pile of Twilight and Harry Potter ship shirts.
Might be.
Maybe. So as I said, my niece liked Rey at first, then started reading some of the EU, and well, she likes Darth Zana more. Laugh out loud.
Awesome niece.
Mm-hmm. Zana friggin' is amazing, and I wish we could have got more stories from her. And I think, weren't they planning on doing that before the buyout or something like that? As I recall, I could be wrong.
Yeah, they were planning a Darth Zana duology.
Mm-hmm.
So they were moving forward from that period towards the prequel era.
Yeah.
And they were doing the same with the Legacy era. They were moving forward from Crucible to the Legacy comics.
Correct.
So they were trying to cover all of it, but then it stopped, sadly.
Yeah. Yeah. And then so those people that are in the chat, Lady Toriel, she's a member of my channel, and she shared the emote cons that I have. They're Star Wars related because that's my channel and stuff. And so when you become a member, you get to have those as part of your emoticons and stuff. And I think they're pretty cool. And again, if you guys have any ideas on what else should I add next, let me know. I'm always there to take suggestions and stuff. Maybe we'll have a Zana. Maybe I'll put Zana in there. That'd be cool.
Oh, Cavatenio Shea is saying Police Academy Mission to Moscow, which is the seventh one. A credit scene was interesting with the horse riding tricks. I don't remember that, but I have a little quiz thing for you in the chat.
Okay.
Something in Police Academy 7 is tied to the Star Wars prequel trilogy.
Oh, damn it.
Basically, they have something in common.
Oh. It's been a while since I watched those. Holy crap.
Yeah, let's see if the chat knows.
All right. And then while you guys think, open airlock policy, West End invented the EU. Yes, there's a lot of stuff from West End that was brought in for the EU and stuff. So there's a lot of stuff. I mean, they were so good at fleshing things out. So.
Oh yeah. I have the D20 books.
Oh wow. Grand Admiral Essential Guide to Warfare is my favorite, and the section titled Reconquest of the Rim is great. I don't have the Essential Guide to Warfare just yet. I was looking at it yesterday because some of the essential guides that I don't have, and I want to just go ahead and add them to my collection.
The D20 rule set has a New Jedi Order book, and in it you can see the timeline of the Yuuzhan Vong invasion.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Which was kind of awesome.
Yeah, and then even the atlas of the planets and stuff, it does have sections of history according to the planets in the galaxy, and it does talk about like even the Yuuzhan Vong timeline as well. So that would be fun. I would like to compare with you, Stig, on see how well accurately those two are compared to each other. That would be fun. So
yeah.
that's
Toriel says same actress in both movies. Nope, but you're close.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm just going to tell you. The thing they have in common, Police Academy 7 and the prequel trilogy, is Christopher Lee. He plays a Russian police chief or something in Police Academy 7. So Count Dooku is in the Police Academy. I mean, Christopher Lee has been in everything. So
yeah,
he's even in Gremlins 2.
Yeah. Yeah, and open airlock too is like Don was told to follow the EU.
Yep.
And they sent him a box of books.
I think that was the case with R.A. Salvatore as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing that was the common thing. It seems to be,
Yeah.
Here's the source material, stick to it.
Exactly. Whereas Kennedy's like, there's no source material.
Imagine though, getting a box full of source material like that. It has to be awesome.
Oh God, I'm just envious just to hear that. Like, oh, here you go, follow this information, and they send you like a lot of like information, source material, books, and what have you. That's yeah. And then the kind of off topic here, I am getting into the Lord of the Rings finally. Glad, I haven't read it yet, so Stig has been slowly breaking me down. You love lore, you need to read that trilogy. So I'm getting into that. So maybe sometime in the future I might do a review on all three.
Yeah, you would be Lord of the Rings or on the Rings. Lord. You will be fully Lord.
Fully Lord. Yep, there you go. Fully Lord. There you go. So open the airlock, Zahn was told to follow the West End. Yes, he was. I'm gonna have to. Maybe one day we'll have open on copy chat with us, Steve. Maybe.
Yeah. Tim is great.
Mm-hmm, he is.
He knows more EU than I do.
Yeah. All right. So, Mr. Dystopia,
you should kick me out and keep him.
Oh no, stop it. Don't be trying to get your ass out of my coffee chat like that, like
No, I was joking.
okay, good, because no, you're here to stay now.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Hello, Mr. Dystopian. I am late to the party. That's okay because we're getting ready to start the second comic. And how many of you guys in the chat are Asajj Ventress fans? And how many of you, and I probably know the answer already, and I know Stig's already, like her arc better in these comics rather than the Clone Wars cartoon series? So let me know in the chat. So let me see here. I'm going to go through these real quick, and then we'll begin this next one here. Grand Admiral, Sleepy Hollow has Maul, Palpatine, and Dooku in it.
Yep, that's true. Also, it's an awesome movie. Sleepy Hollow is amazing.
Yeah. So Tim, our open airlock, says, so that's who reads the RPG. Yes, they use that. And, before the group dismantled, I was going to be in role-playing, Star Wars role-playing with Stig and a few others and stuff, and that kind of halted. But I was looking forward to that because there was so much lore, even in that, just planning the characters and stuff like that. So that was, if we ever are able to do that again, put me in. I would love to do that.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. I'm sure we're going to play Star Wars. Playing Star Wars RPG in the future sometime.
Yeah, and I created such a cool character, and it's like, bam, it was like done. Like after a couple of turns, a couple of plays. Yep. So I'm kind of disappointed. It took me a long time to decide too. I was like, behind the scenes with Stig, and I'm like, well, how should I go this way or that way? And so it was fun, even organizing and planning my character and stuff. Very fun. All right, Terminus East or Terminus EST. I'm sorry. So Terminus OG Star Wars. I myself have an odd relationship with the EU. As a kid and well into my early 20s, I only read reference books. Loved how every character, ship, planet, etc., has its own story. Yes.
Yeah.
Very true.
And those stories, the history of the ships and stuff, is usually referenced in comics and novels. So it all fits.
Exactly. It all does. The more you get into it and you get into like the Atlas and other things that explain, like droids or ships or planets or whatever, when you get into just those little aspects, you will learn so much as well, and how well, I know how well Star Wars has been fleshed out for that, for its lore. OG Lore of the Rings channel coming soon. All right. Yeah. Yes, OG. About time, lady. Yes, I know. I'm sorry. I'll be picking up those books here soon. I already have them. Stig has influenced me on that, and he was the first to know that I ordered because we were chatting together when I ordered them and stuff. So yes.
I feel kind of guilty because I've gotten you to buy those. I got Teresa to buy an Xbox. and I got Torio to buy piles and piles of books. So I'm costing women money all over the world.
All over the world. You have such a huge influence on women across the globe, darling.
Yeah, I should be a bookseller, shouldn't I?
Yes, you should. Oh my God. So Grand Admiral, comic Ventress, yes. The Clone Wars Ventress, not so much. All right. Me, Ventress kicks A. So I'm pretty sure she means ass. All right. And I like the TV show better for Ventress. So the TV show, would that be either Tartakovsky's Clone Wars or Filoni's Clone Wars?
It's okay to like what you like.
Exactly. So I'm not going to sit here and make fun of you if you like the Clone Wars Ventress. It's totally up to you and what you prefer. I just think she's better fleshed out within the comics and even in Tartakovsky's. So that's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. All right. So Ventress is awesome. Exactly. All right. I'm going to read these last two and we're going to get into this next one here. Stig is a hell of a salesperson. He sure is.
I should get a commission from eBay and Amazon.
I know, right? All right. So OG Star Wars. Oh, yes, it is it all fits. I still have my old reference books, and back then I used to love going to Barnes and Nobles to read the reference books. Oh my God. Okay, so before we go on, I went to Barnes and Nobles like a few days ago, and I always keep track of the Star Wars section, like with Legends versus the new canon. And man, there's either because of the holidays just passed, and I'm hoping that I'm right with this, but there's hardly any Legends books up there right now. So I'm hoping that like a lot of the Legends book that they have in their Star Wars sections just were sold, for over the holidays, and that they still have to get new shipments in. I'm hoping. So, good morning, Vertical Horizons. How are you doing? Let's see here. Definitely 2D Ventress, although she wasn't in that as much.
I have a little announcement.
Okay.
Not my Star Wars 77 on Twitter. I just retweeted him. He is doing a live stream on Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern, and he's doing a fundraiser for J.W. Rinsler.
Oh.
And who is fighting pancreatic cancer.
Yes.
And he's hoping people will show up in the chat and leave a message for the fellow, and
okay,
maybe donate to the fundraiser.
All right, I'm gonna pull. Sorry, I'm gonna pull.
I thought that was important to let people know. I retweeted it so you can see it on Twitter, but it's a good thing he's doing because Rinsler is a hell of a guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and share the link right here. So it's within 28 hours, basically. Share, and then we will finally get into the rest of this here. I will definitely try to be there. I'll be out of town during that time, but I will try to be there in support. So there we go. So there's the link right there. So you guys can go ahead and click on it, set the reminder so you can be there and support. So yeah, I'd rather cover stuff like that than go into the rumors and speculations of what's going on in Lucasfilm in general. I'd rather support, the greater Star Wars community in such a way. Other than that, because to me, I used to be a background investigator. So when someone gave me speculations on anything, I couldn't use that. Oh God, I'm losing my voice. I couldn't use that as proof until I got the hard evidence for it.
I think it's odd that Kathleen Kennedy, who is referred to as the most powerful woman in Hollywood, doesn't have control of her own company. And if there's like a rebellion going on in the company and that's public knowledge, it's weird that she hasn't shut it down.
Yeah.
When she has all the power to do so.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of things that are not adding up. And yes, I heard, like my friend has a friend who works in there, or my friend who works in there, or whatever. My thing is like, okay, so you're telling me, take it with a grain of salt. It's rumor, what have you. They're trying to protect their identity. But as a background investigator from my past and stuff, until I have hard evidence to support that, it's just that a rumor and stuff. And there's no evidence in the contrary to it saying that, that's going on and stuff. And what we're seeing is like, we're seeing a lot more evidence of her being involved, of her, of floating them, speaking up, basically with the relationship with her and stuff. So, I mean, it is what it is, but,
Grand Admiral Adam, if you're at Barnes and Noble and you're looking at the Star Wars section and all that, it would be interesting to see if it's the Legends books that are selling or the new stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could ask the storekeeper about it. It would be interesting to hear.
Yeah, I did in the past. I have asked, and they said they did tell me. I didn't this last time, but when I talked to the manager and stuff, and she was telling me that Legends has been selling more than the new canon or the new lore. Excuse me. All right. So let's go on. Okay. So let's get into Asajj Ventress here. So we have her right here, one of Sig's favorite characters here. And this is called Hate and Fear. So here we go. So we have her here, and she has one of the ARC troops here as
It's Alpha.
Yeah, it's Alpha. Yes.
Yeah, the guy Filoni based Rex on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Rex does not compare to Alpha whatsoever, in my opinion. So she's on Rat Attack, so she's back home. She's not Dathomirian, she's Rat Attack.
Yeah, that's the planet.
Yep, exactly. And so she had, look at her blood, the blood on her face, the knife she's using. I mean, she's literally like slicing him up there, trying to get information from him. And he is programmed, even though his programming is less, invasive than, the other clone troopers, he is still programmed to not give in.
Yep. And he's trained by Jango Fett as well.
Exactly.
Or ARC troopers. So that's basically he's Arnold Schwarzenegger from the movie Commando.
Yeah. Is she holding up the knife to his neck right there at the bottom part of the screen?
Yeah, at the chin.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, whoa. Yeah, so she's a friggin' beast right here.
Yeah.
And there we go. So we have a better picture of it. So you could see the blood dripping where she has sliced him. And and she's like really, really doing some, trying to get information from him through torture, through just
she's trying to get him to cut to the chase.
Cut to the chase. There you go. Yeah. And so basically she's like telling him, give me information. And he's like, I'm advanced recon commander A17. So basically he's only given her information about him and who he is, but that's all. And it's pissing her off. It's pissing her off. So let's move on. And then we have her, she's out of the situation right there, and she's walking with
basically her second in command.
What's his name? I didn't write it down. Do you have it?
It probably says it.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. Yeah, so basically she's basically, she's telling him how resilient they are, and that killing him won't count, won't do anything either, so, they're having that talk, that kind of talk. And then she's like, Dooku will finally take me as his apprentice. So it's basically, she's trying to get herself as his apprentice there.
Yeah, she is not a Sith. She's a Dark Jedi.
Correct. And that's the thing. I think people confuse that.
Yeah, I'm not even sure she's a Jedi, to be honest. She's basically trained from as a dark side user with lightsaber skills. So she's not really a. She never went to Jedi school, right?
Yeah. Wasn't she a Padawan though before?
If she was a Padawan before, then I stand corrected.
I thought she was a Padawan, not her master, because we'll get into it, because she, she does have.
Oh yes, yeah. Oh, you're right. She was a Padawan for a little while.
Yeah. Yep. And so she didn't quite, graduate to a Jedi Knight.
Yeah, and they have a Dooku statue, I believe. Dooku was part of the liberation of Rat Attack, I believe.
Yeah. And that's what they're looking at right there, huh?
Yeah, Dooku was once a very great Jedi. He's just fallen because he agrees with the Separatists. And to be fair, the Separatists are what becomes the rebellion later on.
Yeah, isn't that an interesting turn of events, basically?
Yeah.
So, all right, so let's move on here. So we do have both captives here. And then it says, and then Obi-Wan dies. So basically she wants Obi-Wan to die. That would, strike the Jedi, and especially Anakin and all that. And plus that's Dooku's, one of his lineage. of trained Jedi. So he trained Qui-Gon, and then Qui-Gon trained Obi-Wan. So we have that lineage going on that she's referring to right there. And so basically, he's like, Alpha. So they take him to where Obi-Wan is at. And he's like, Alpha, you're not dead. And he's all, not yet, basically. And but you've been in here for 3 weeks. I assume you're devised an escape plan. And so basically, they're talking about their escape plan. Yes, they have. And let me see here. Didn't she put some kind of like parasite in Obi-Wan?
Yeah, in the hood.
Yeah,
in the not be able to use the Force as much, and it's draining him, keeping him weak.
Yeah, exactly. And I think she also put some kind of parasites that goes into the muscles to make him weak as well. And so basically he used the Force to get rid of those parasites. And you do see that again used by Luke Skywalker in the Truce of Bakura. So again, another continuity.
Yeah, it just takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
So he's basically just been there getting rid of parasites.
Yeah, exactly. And trying to stay as strong as he could, despite, the torture that he's also been given.
Yeah.
So here you go. Go ahead and take this. I need to get some water real quick. So discuss this.
Oh, they use the water to short circuit the electro binders, I believe they're called, which is the handcuffs Alpha's been put in, and Alpha frees Kenobi. Now they're free and up and about. Meanwhile, maybe we can. Well, I can talk to the chat a bit.
All right, I'm back.
Okay, I'll not talk to the chat at all then.
He's like, forget you guys. I'm not talking to you now. She's back.
Yeah.
No, it's just right. My studio is just right. Shares the kitchen, a door with the kitchen. So yeah, I just need to get some water to clear my voice. But yeah, so they escape here. And so I heard what you were telling them. And so we'll move on. We'll move on from here. So here we go. So they're running through the water here. And aren't they looking for a ship now to...
Oh, ship and weapons. And yeah, they want to get out, but they also decide to let free all of the other prisoners to create confusion and all that.
Yeah. And which is a nice strategy, because by doing that, like Stig said, it brings confusion and focus goes everywhere, so it's not just focused on them anymore, so it helps them in the long run. So, and you could see, isn't that blood on his shoulder, Obi-Wan's shoulder or something that looks like, or whatever.
I'm
so they, or sewage.
Yeah, probably, dust and crap. I don't know.
Yeah. So, and then we have, did I skip a page or let me see. Okay. Sometimes my cursor skips or whatever. So now we have, her, she's realizing they escaped,
she's in the middle of training.
Is she in the middle of training right there? That's right.
Yeah, she's fighting droids.
Okay.
Training droids, and then
they look like bugs.
No, they're robots.
Mm-hmm.
But Darth Maul and Vader also trains with robots like this, actually.
Yeah.
Not identical, but they use robots for training. I think Vader does it in Shadows of the Empire.
Yes, he does. And did he do it in Darth Lore too as well? I think so.
Can't remember, but
I'm recalling that vaguely.
She's being informed that Kenobi and Alpha and the prisoners are, escaping, and she realizes immediately it's Obi-Wan's fault.
Mm-hmm.
And she's right.
Bottom.
Yep.
All right. So they let them out, and oh wow, he's leaping high. But look at Obi-Wan, go Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, the guards or the troops or soldiers show up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Kenobi can still use the Force.
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't have a lightsaber. So
yeah.
Combat ensues.
Exactly. The Force is able to I mean, they say that the lightsaber is the extension of a Jedi, but without a lightsaber, you could still use the Force to defend or protect yourself as well. So there you have
Yeah,
it.
without the force, the lightsaber is just a sword.
Exactly. Exactly. Great point there. So here we go. So we have more conflict with the guards and stuff, and he's basically drowned in one right there.
Yeah,
Look at his eyes and stuff. And
yeah,
so they basically almost like unite with the prisoners, even though the prisoners probably have their own thing that they want to do, so but for the greater cause of getting out of there, they're
yeah.
basically all together in a
The
sense.
the alien in the lower left corner. You see
Yes.
that one? The guy with the weird nose and the ear. It looks like that Kibblesmith fellow that writes for Marvel.
What? Really? I
Yeah,
have to take a look at that now.
the guy who did the SJW Marvel comics
Yeah.
about the pronouns people that were superheroes.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go look at that now. Oh my god. You can point out
Daniel Kibblesmith.
Kibblesmith. Daniel Kibblesmith?
Yeah,
Kibble.
I think that's it.
Okay. I'll have to take a look. So what do we have going on here? So are these are basically the dead bodies
Yeah,
or yeah.
yeah, the dead prisoners. And
From the torture and stuff. And so I'm guessing they're probably the clones, right? Some of the clones too. Maybe.
um,
I don't know.
well, there's a human arm sticking out of one of them.
And a leg.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, I'm just assuming that's what I thought, but it also could be just even people who rebelled against her on Rat Attack as well.
Yeah,
So, I mean, there's so much crap going on in this, and she, even though she's not Sith, she's, dark sider, and she has a lot of issues going on in her head as well, as we will come to. So, and, oh, excuse me. So basically he tells Kenobi, I'm a political prisoner. So basically, yes, they're probably political prisoners as well.
yeah.
A
And
lot of
he is from that planet, and
them.
he's been fighting the humans of that planet
Hmm.
before.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he knows Ventress's backstory, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. And what's interesting, and it shows a little bit of the battle that has been going on, that he's talking about. Rat Attack is a world of warriors and soldiers. For eons we have battled one another for the right to rule. So basically that's what it's about. And this kind of shares a little bit of some of Asajj Ventress's backstory as well. We're getting into that right now. We knew another of the or we knew nothing of the outside galaxy or your republic, but still found new and innovative ways to kill one another. And so he goes into to more of the lore here, and it does get Asajj, and so she's down here as a little child here, and so basically it does show that her parents were rulers at one time of the planet, and they
Yeah,
killed.
she's actually a princess in a sense.
Yes, exactly. And they killed her family. And then so we had the Jedi that was basically stationed there, I guess, or fighting there or protecting, who found her. So her master.
Yeah, and isn't that Dooku?
No, I don't think so.
I thought it
I
was
think
Dooku.
that's her original. I think that's her original master right there.
Okay.
Yeah. So you see, yeah, that's her original master. And so he finds her, and he realizes that she's force sensitive, and he begins to train her. And as she got older, and he trains her basically on Rat Attack. And basically, he does get killed, and you could see that in the bottom, he's dying in her arms. And so that's what kind of changes, like turns her to the dark side as well.
I
And
always thought Ventress in the old canon was a cross between Darth Maul and Anakin.
really, and while this makes sense with this, look at this, because see, she's been through a lot of loss too, like he did.
Yeah,
All that, look at that.
yeah, and she fights the way Maul does, and she's kind of all about hatred.
Yeah.
So always thought they were much the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. So, and that's why she turns and stuff, and she's starts battling the natives that are they're fighting again for the right to rule, and stuff. And so this is where she starts turning dark. And again, she's never was taken to the temple to be trained. She was trained by a Jedi that on her home planet and stuff. And while he was still
Yeah, she,
helping
she
out.
was literally trained in a war during
Mm-hmm.
the war,
Exactly.
which is pretty badass.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And so this gives more weight to her arc and why she's acting the way she does. Why she thinks that other people are fake Jedi. The fake Jedi, what she uses a lot, are the false Jedi that she used a lot because she was never trained with the Jedi in the actual temple. So she
Yeah,
thinks how she was trained was the true way versus, anything else. She doesn't know better. That's how I
yeah,
see it.
she literally thinks that Jedi is supposed to be an instrument of war because
Mhm.
that's what she is.
Yeah, exactly. So basically he ends up telling the story to Obi-Wan. It kind of clarifies everything with her that so he can so understanding happens to why she's acting the way she does. So
And
Uncle,
she, in my opinion, she's up there with Maul in terms of being a threat to other characters because uh, they fight much the same way, and she takes out in one of the other comics. She takes out a pile of Jedi single handedly.
hmm
So her fighting skills are absolutely up there with Maul, but she doesn't have Sith training like Maul does.
hmm
So
yeah,
imagine her being, as powerful with Sith training as Dooku is, for example. She would be a yeah, top of the line.
exactly. So Grand Admiral shared her master's name. It's Kai Narek, and I didn't write it down, and I soon forgot. But yeah, it's Kai Narek. And so what had happened with her relationship with him and the training and how he is killed really did weigh a lot on her character and her emotions, and was the catalyst for her turning dark. So very very tragic in a sense when you see like characters like her as well. Like Maul was raised from a baby, like she to by Palpatine, basically. I wouldn't, not the traditional raised as people think, but he raised him in the dark side and stuff. But her, she was at an early age, she was taken in and she lost her family, and then later on in her life, she loses her master. So there's a lot of emotional weight that goes into her character and how she turns dark. So let me see here. The real Ventress ruled. Yep. And then Soul Assassin always thought Ventress is what or Vosa would have been if she didn't join the Bandu Gora. So let's see here. Let's go back to the comic here. All right. So it was just like I said, there's a lot of emotional weight and a lot of stuff going on in here, stuff like a lot of like plot and a lot of story, a lot of emotional weight. There's so much going on. So basically there may be on another world, but here I was a slave who helped build this citadel, and now I am your only hope to escape. So basically we're going on to the next thing here, and they're trying to escape. And so she asks, where are the false Jedi? Again, false Jedi. And she
And
really
she's sending a kibble smith flying into the ceiling.
Kibble Smith. she's throwing kibbles around, kibbles and bits. Sorry, I had to. Okay, so and then she's again emotional. There's red around there. Where's Obi-Wan? And look at her face right there. So.
It's like she's at a restaurant and he didn't show up for their date.
And she just goes batshit crazy.
Yeah, kills the clientele.
So is she Karen right now? She's carrying or Karen right now? No.
Yeah, it's a bit Karen.
She's doing a Karen. She's
Actually,
doing
no, because he doesn't take it to the manager, does he?
No, she doesn't. She takes it in her own hands. So basically, no. You got a point there, my friend. You've got a point. All right. Let's see here. Oh, thank you. All right. So they're still in pursuit here. And look at him. Alpha friggin' snaps his neck.
Yep.
Crack. Where's Miss Smart Muse for this? Crack, kind of deal. And so they're basically fleeing. And
Imagine the sound being like if you have 4 carrots and you snap them.
uh-huh.
Probably like that.
Probably. Oh my God. All right. And so that, of course, they're still pursuing them. So there's, the battle going. They're trying to recapture, or at least recapture Obiwan, because that's who Asajj wants.
Yeah.
And Obi-Wan has gone through a lot of shit just in this time frame here. A lot. And Anakin thinks he's dead. And so there's a lot going on here. So,
well, Anakin doesn't. He thinks Obi-Wan is alive, but none of the others believe it.
well, yeah. I mean, in the beginning, he thought he was dead, and then we get to the realization that there's a realization, and there's
he mentioned it in last week.
Yeah,
that he didn't think Kenobi was dead.
Yeah, exactly. And that he needs to find him, and but everybody does, even though that moth was sent out in his honor, he still had that in his mind that he's still alive. So
and then they snoop around, and I think they find Ventress's old master's lightsaber.
Right there, which pisses her off. So let's go to that.
Yeah, he takes it.
Yes. So, again, confrontation. They're still battling to get out of there. They find a ship. And so they make their way towards the ship. What's going on here? And she shows up. So there she is. She shows up. And
she beheads the political prisoner guy.
She sure does.
Yeah, just no mercy right away. Sweep the head.
Sweep ahead. Sweep ahead. All right. And
he's not head of state anymore.
There you go. And so basically she goes, now I am a Jedi master after she does that. And then we have her and Obi-Wan, and lo and behold, she has her master's lightsaber, which pisses her off even more.
Yeah, and he has his own lightsaber and her master's lightsaber.
Exactly. So he's wielding 2 and she is 2. And basically she's pissed off now, and they have their confrontation going on. And let's see here. Let's go forward here a little bit more here. And the Alpha, is that Alpha in there in the ship right there?
Yeah, they got in the ship, and
yes,
Obi-Wan does a backflip, and which is the same thing he does on Mustafar.
Yeah.
When he leaps away from Anakin and gets the high ground.
Correct.
Same move, continuity.
Right? And he does earn the high ground, and he has both sabers, and she's very, very pissed about that because that's her master's saber. And look at her. She's literally crying right there.
Yeah, she's so pissed she's crying.
Exactly. And I would love to read the whole comics to you guys, but we don't, it would take longer to read. So some of this, we just do brief descriptions and move on. But, like I said, if you have them, pick them up, read them again. If you have them on you, you can read them while we talk and follow along. Or if you don't have them, there's ways to get them and stuff. And maybe I should start putting the descriptions on different ways to, or options to how you can get them, maybe. So.
Yeah. And the next comics we're doing, I think the next one follows this one a few minutes later.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And then we will be meeting Quinlan Voss again after that.
Yeah. So her second in command says he stole your ship, and basically she says he stole more than that. The end.
He stole her past, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. So she's clinging on to the attachment, and the past is that lightsaber, her past master. Yeah. So, And she does drop both of her lightsabers that was given to her by Dooku. Right here. And they fall down. Very emotional. So this is not the one that we're going to follow up. But if you guys have the comic series, I would say go ahead and read it because it gets more into how Battle of Jabim basically
the aftermath, but as you guys see, that there's just a hell of a lot of dialogue.
Exactly.
So it's not user friendly.
Yeah.
Or viewer friendly.
Yeah, so if you have them, read them on your own. We're not going to review this, but basically it does take a toll on the Senate, the political side as well. There's a lot of stuff that's being held back or whatever. And is this the next one, No Man's Land, that we're reviewing?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. So this one here, No Man's Land. So this is Republic comic number 62. And let me go ahead and skip ahead so that you guys have an idea what's going on. I wish I had the page number so I could just put it in there, the number. And this one right here that goes to number 63 with Quinlan, Striking from the Shadows. So those two are going to be next week.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. Again, if you have them, follow along. If you don't, then, even you can message Stig and I, and we can help, try to help you find these comics or send you a link where you can access the comics as well, Kindle or whatever. So, yeah. So I look forward to those. I mean, the story just keeps on getting. The story is, it's a nice ride. It keeps you hooked throughout the whole arc.
And if you like these comics, promote them everywhere on Twitter and wherever you can, because that sends a message.
Yeah.
And slim chance Lucasfilm will care, but you never know, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The more people who buy them and all, the greater the buzz.
Yeah. All right, Lady Turiel, good night, and thank you for joining us. All right, and I know
cool stuff.
Yeah, I know that I seen another one left earlier. I forgot to say, I have to scroll up, but whoever had to leave, while we're discussing this, thank you for joining us. And I know maybe you'll come in and rewatch as well. Vertical Horizons, Obiwan always takes an opportunity to take the high ground. He is the master of the high ground.
Yep.
Yes. So, Stig, with this comic, what do you rate it? Like, what is your opinion about it that we just...
Well, the first one we did today, I'll give it 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
This one I'd give an 8. It was fun to read the backstory of Ventress and all, but I thought the prison escape was very sudden and very convenient.
Yeah.
So, 8 out of 10 isn't bad.
No, it's not. It's still a great story arc.
Yeah, if you think about it, a 5 out of 10, that's not bad either. It's right in the middle.
Yeah, it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, oh my God. So look at Quinlan here. So I don't know. I like to design covers that are interesting, that sparks people interest and stuff. This last thumbnail cover for this coffee chat is Asajj. It's going to be hard to choose between covers or even images within these two comics here, but this one with Quinlan with the red saber, it's telling. It's telling, on where he's at in his state of mind.
Yeah, yeah. It's usually you pick the best thumbnails anyway. So
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah. So we have Vertical Horizons. He's like a 7 out of 10. Very good. Plus, I love Ventress. There you go.
Yeah. And there's going to be quite a bit more Ventress in when we get to volume 3 of the Clone Wars. And I also think that's where her EU story arc ends. Spoilers, it doesn't end like the Disney one.
Yeah. Oh, good.
She has more of an open end.
Yeah, open end. An open ending to it. Yep. Yeah. All right, you guys. So we're going to start winding down here. So again, the next two comics, number 62 and 63 of the Republic comics here. And again, it says Republic, but it's still Clone Wars era. That's why I put the Clone Wars, and then when I put that, because it's still within the time frame, because this fleshes out what's going on in the Clone Wars with these characters and these planets, and separatists versus the Republic, or what have you. So very, very, very great stories. And I am so sorry, Keck Howdy, only a little late. We're getting ready to close out. We just got done reading or going through both of the comics as well. So thank you again for tuning in. I'm sorry that you came in late, but I'm glad you're here. And thank you. So let me see here. The picture, okay, this is Soul Assassin. The picture reminded me of Lord Khan at first. Yeah. When you glance at it and stuff, I can see that. Vertical Horizon. Ironic how they finished her arc in a novel with a Foss.
Yeah, in the Disney canon.
Yeah,
I'm not aware
of that one.
Because if you look at the Disney, the Clone Wars
Yeah.
that they made, the show they made canon.
Yeah.
She has nothing to do with Voss in that.
Mm-hmm.
She never meets Voss in the Clone Wars cartoon, I believe. So there's no arc there at all.
Yeah, all of a sudden they're just shoehorned together or in the same story frame.
Yeah, actually, I'm wondering if the Voss and Ventress novel in Disney canon, if it actually fits way more with the old EU.
Okay. And what brings you to that conclusion?
Because it looks like it,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
because they're both influenced by Dooku.
Yeah, and it seems to fit more with these comics than it does with the Clone Wars show.
Interesting. Were you able to read or look into it a little bit more?
No, I feel like I should though. If someone in the chat knows,
yeah, I'm curious.
Please let us know, because if it fits way more with these comics, then I would consider it an EU novel.
Yeah,
because it doesn't,
or at least complements it, where there's no, where there's no inconsistent or no continuity errors.
Yeah, because the Tarkin novel is 75% EU as well.
Yeah.
But they just tweaked it a bit to make it fit the Disney canon, because it was almost done when Disney took over. So
yeah,
I'd say that one is a little bit EU as well. So I'm not sure about those two novels, but if they fit more with the EU than Disney canon, I'd say they're, you could consider them EU.
Yeah, at least it's worth the read to see, and like people praise like some of the Zahn Theron novels that are coming out for the lore, and saying, well, there's a lot of similarities, and I get that, because Zahn is the one who created Theron and his art. So there's going to be a lot of similarities, but doing my research and stuff, there's a lot of differences, enough differences in Theron's arc between the two to where he doesn't fit inside the original EU. And I still haven't had a chance to finish that video, but that video is coming out. But it just describes the differences between both Throns, and how, the Thrawn of the new lores, the arc would not fit the arc of the Thrawn that we see in the original lore. And so I find it curious to see if the Voss and Ventress novel fits into these comics, like Stiggs is guessing, I guess you could say.
Vertical Horizon is saying the Voss Ventress novel was cut content from the canceled Clone Wars season before Disney revitalized Clone Wars season 7. Well, it would have had to been right at the end, though, because it takes place after Order 66, doesn't it?
And I know he does, like in the original lore, Voss does survive and has a family.
Yeah, and if it, yeah.
So what point in like past Order 66 does he leave to be with his family?
Well, he was supposed to be on in the Order 66 scene in Return of Revenge of the Sith
Yeah.
because he was in Kashyyyk and he was standing on top of a tank and it blew up.
Yeah.
But it happens in the you see it in the Revenge of the Sith comic.
Mhm.
It gets blown up, and then there's a little side comic where he has survived, and he has to get off Kashyyyk,
Yeah.
and then he vanishes for a while and shows up in I think it's some of the Dark Times comics.
Mhm.
I'll have to do research on that one though, because if he does, we need to do that on the show, right?
Yeah, exactly. That I'm like intrigued and very curious um about that because I know that he does survive. I know that he did survive off of, from Kashyyyk, and I think him and Master Yoda are the only two that did. Um and then he also has a family and we all know who basically he has a family with. And I don't know if I should give that spoiler out just yet or not. So, do you know?
Mm, yeah, but I can't. That would spoil things.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to give that spoiler out either,
Yeah.
so I'm not going to say who. But that would be interesting to look further into. I think his story is basically open ended as well, so that
Oh,
they could.
Penguin says the novel does not fit
Oh,
because
okay.
it takes
I'm
place
highlighting.
through multiple months when Boss was really busy for most of the war. Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
And we're seeing that in the comics we're reading right now. So
All right. Because yeah, that's the thing too. Is like does it? Where's he at within that timeline versus this and stuff. So yeah. But I was curious about that, and I was willing to look into it and say, do we have something that was maybe in, like a planning stage, and finally the novel's written, because that could happen. We could see, arcs of our planning stages of novels that were maybe before buyout happened later, who knows?
apparently it's a wrap up thing
Mm,
that because the Clone Wars was canceled, so it's basically just wrapping up Ventress and Boss.
okay. I'm gonna have to look
So
into it still.
I guess he's still the surfer dude in that one.
Oh, yuck. No.
Yeah.
No, I don't like the Surfer Do boss. I like this boss here. Yeah. Oh, they both die?
Yeah.
Okay. And we know that in the original lore he survives and he has a family and stuff. And that would have been interesting to see if like his son and later on in the future, I mean, it could have always been possible. Yeah, I'm just like going with what ifs now. Um, and see how he reacts or if he becomes like the ruler of Kiffer and stuff like that. So Lord Vader. He said he doesn't die in the novel. I've read the novel versus Vertical. Did you read the novel too? We have two conflicting everything here. So let's see here. Voss does meet a well-known smuggler. Yes. Stig, are you coming on Shenanigans on Saturday by any chance?
No, I'm not going to be on Shenanigans for the near future.
Okay.
Maybe later on, though. We'll
Yeah.
see. But it's going to be a while.
Okay. But once he does, I'm pretty sure he'll announce it. So just stay tuned. Stay tuned.
I'm sure Mary's gonna, because she's the one that says who's on.
Yeah, exactly. And he'll share that information, basically. Vertical Horizons. Okay, it's been a while since I've read, plus I skimmed through it. So no, Voss doesn't die in the novel. Okay. All right. So it's like we had two conflicting informations here, but yeah. So that means Disney can use him later on down the road. So if he doesn't die. All right. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And that was a nice discussion, just or figuring out what was going on with Voss and stuff, and seeing if something was tied into you know, tied into the EU by chance, or, and I'm always curious about that. And that's why I do the compare and contrast, is I'm always curious about how much they change between the characters of the original and what they're doing to them in the new lore, how much it may tie in, or what the similarities are and differences are, so I like doing all of that. And again, that doesn't mean, I'm hating. It just means that I am analyzing between the two lores. Yes, I love George Lucas era Star Wars better. There's so much heart and soul into it. So that's my thing. And that's where I stand with everything that I do for my channel. And I also, talk about the state of Star Wars on Twitter, but not on my channel. I may do some breaking news or what have you, or, bring up an article that can poke fun at whatever they're trying to address or whatever. But more or less, it's more about George Lucas era of Star Wars, comparing, contrasting between the two lores, and just having fun sharing it with everyone that comes to my channel to watch these videos. That's my purpose. My initial
You have a super chat
I
from
see it
our
right.
good friend Abu.
Yes, I will pull it up in a minute. So, yeah. And so what brought me to decide to open this channel the way I did was the fact that continuity was being questioned, and Luke Skywalker's arc, his arc was annihilated in the Disney canon and stuff like that. So I wanted to bring the heart of Star Wars back, and that's George Lucas's era of Star Wars, EU movies, continuity, all that. So Abu Nas at $5, and thank you so much for tuning in. Sending some love your way, Queen. Sorry I'm not here to enjoy the show. The workflow today is ridiculous. The true canon is Lucas era canon. You have that right, and that's what I was going at with that. Let me see here. Jason Momoa looks like he could play a good Quinlan Voss.
Yes, actually, good casting.
Exactly. Who do you think would, before we close out here, we'll have one more discussion, like a tiny discussion, but who do you think would play a good Quinlan, or not Quinlan, Ventress?
Well, when they were casting Revenge of the Sith,
yeah,
right? Lucas was gonna cast Bai Ling, which is Chinese actress, I think, and most likely that was Ventress, because she was going to play a female Dark Jedi.
Oh, okay. And see, I think I missed that. I missed that, that casting decision. I didn't get into the prequels that far enough to see what possibilities that they were going to do with bringing other characters in. So that's very, very interesting. And an Asian actress as well. And who says that Star Wars wasn't, is just all white?
Yeah, but it never happened though. It was fairly early in because I remember paying attention to the casting. Casting announcements back then.
Yeah, I didn't pay too much attention to the casting announcements back then. So thank you so much. We're always learning something in Star Wars, whether it's behind the movies to behind the lore, EU and stuff.
Trench is sending Norwegian kroners.
Yes, a $20 at that. And discussing the change.
No, that's 20 Norwegian kroners.
Yeah. Discussing the changes in characters is interesting, and I agree. And thank you so much. And it's what, kroners?
Yeah.
Oh, and my son ordered me some Norwegian chocolates again. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's been voted the third best chocolate in the world.
Yes. Okay, I thought it was second. So it's third.
Oh, maybe it's second now, but the Swiss is top of the line though.
Yeah, exactly. So he was like, I got some more chocolate for us, Mom, because he was stationed there and he got to, taste it firsthand and take in the culture, I guess you can say. So
yeah, it's people are liking the. Yeah, she was cut or something. Yeah, I do remember seeing an article where she was supposed to be playing a female dark Jedi or villain or something.
Hmm.
Keep in mind though, it's 20 years since I saw that article.
Yeah.
Um, so my memory is fuzzy, so don't quote me on any of this.
Maybe we should bring it up, and if we can find that article or whatever and pull it up and put it on Twitter. That'd be fun discussion on Twitter. Besides all the other BS that's being discussed, I'd rather just sit and talk about stuff like that right now, and just have fun discussing stuff like that. All right. And Grand Admiral Adams, she plays a senator in the deleted scenes in Revenge of the Sith. I don't think she is a great actress.
Fair enough.
Okay. Who is that actress that played Gamora's sister in Guardians? She probably would be a good choice for Ventress.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The one that plays the cyborg.
Mm-hmm.
She is rumored to be playing Mara Jade in Disney Star Wars now.
Oh my God. Is that who that is that they said?
Yeah.
Oh,
Scottish redhead lady. Sure, she should be a good Mara Jade, but Mara Jade doesn't work with Disney Star Wars at all.
No,
so it's not going to be Mara Jade. It's just going to be the name.
Exactly. And even how she was fleshed out in the original lore, the original EU, does not fit at all. Even if she can come out as his secret apprentice or hand, it still doesn't fit.
Karen Gillan, that's the name. Oh, Cavatenio Shea says Bai Ling was on the cover of Playboy with a lightsaber. That might be why she lost the job.
Probably. Well.
She's a Sith bunny.
She's a Sith bunny. There we go. We have a Jedi bunny in the community. We need a Sith bunny. Yeah. All right. By the way, Stig, does Mary ever play a bard in D&D? Because if she does, she must be on her minstrel cycle. Minstrel.
Excellent. 8 out of 10 for that one.
Nice.
Yeah, you get an 8 out of 10, period.
Period. There we go. I need to get one of those little clip thingies. All right, Admiral, I do have a few new little sound effects, and I hardly use them because I'm always paying attention to chat, and switching back between brand and chat on StreamYards is crazy. So, but I do have little...
I love you.
I know.
You rebel scum.
So just to find more ideas, so Stig, maybe you can share like fun ones that, or that you don't hardly see that could be used, like from Star Wars or whatever. So.
Oh, they added some shit to Return of the Jedi now. The guy who throws Solo the detonation pack.
Yes.
That is Poe Dameron's dad. So they retroactively put sequel shit into Return of the Jedi.
I know. What do you think about that? I'm just like giggling at this bullshit.
I think it's retarded, and it's this is Filoni trying way too hard to make his writing and characters relevant. Not that well,
yeah,
it's not just Filoni doing that though; it's all of them. But he tried to do that with Rex. Have Rex be that beardy guy in Return of the Jedi, but I think they shot him down.
They did. I looked into it because some people were trying to say, no, Filoni said blah, blah, blah. And it's true. It's valid, and just staying on that hill. And I pulled up the information where, he got shot down basically with that.
Yeah. And it still says it's Rex.
Mm-hmm. And so it's not
Rex. They didn't go for it.
Mm-hmm. Now I got to rewatch the scene in Return of the Jedi when they get into the building where they start tossing all the detonators and stuff like that, because you will still see images of these people falling in with Han. So I'm just curious now. So yeah. And Vertical Horizons, that'd be a reason why I'd hire her. What the hell, George? We're talking about Karen and her Playboy lightsaber shoot. So, All right. So we are past 2 hours now. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And I had a good time with you guys on Coffee Chat, as always, discussing lore, stuff that's going on in Disney. Obviously, that does slip in now and then, which is okay, I guess. And then I'm losing my voice. I've been having allergies like crazy. So, Stig, why don't you go ahead and tell us where we can find you? I clear my.
Usually here. And on Sporking's channel on Mondays. And I think that's it, isn't it? Sometimes I pop up here and there. Well, Lord Vader saying Filoni said he decided not to make it Rex. That's a damn lie by Filoni, because it wasn't his choice.
Yeah.
It was someone else that shot him down and said, no, that's not Rex.
Yeah. Yep.
So he didn't decide anything. He wanted to make it Rex, but they didn't allow him.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I'll have to pull that stuff up again, but yeah. So yeah. So follow Stig on Twitter. Subscribe if you want to, watch some videos that, are retro, going back in the days, are fun to watch. That will give you some, some laughs and stuff, like his top fives do. And this is not for the people who, have to have a safe space. So, but to go check out his channel, subscribe if you want.
If you feel you need a safe space and PC culture, just avoid me.
Yeah, because he's not going to be your cup of tea.
No.
Exactly.
Not going to be your Earl Grey.
Yeah, gray or anything. So, yeah, so go ahead and check out his channel. Subscribe if you wish. I mean, he does this for hobby and fun.
Yeah, I don't even have to be on YouTube and do this. I just like talking nerdy with people. That's all there is. And for some reason, I got dragged onto YouTube, and well, I can't get away now.
Well, at least from my channel.
Yep.
He's my hostage.
Yep.
So yeah, so go ahead and again, just check out his videos and stuff and enjoy. And okay, it says this right here. I need my safe space, Stig.
Yep. And I don't know, go to California and shit in the street. That's what the safe space people do.
And in a defense, where I live here in California, we don't do that around here. It's just in some cities, which I'm like 3 hours away from. So yeah, which is sad state we're in. And I use that, with pun intended.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, you guys. So you can find me here. I still am putting together that Thrawn video, so hopefully it'll be up here soon. I just have other pressing things that, needed my attention. Life happens, but and I will still continue on with the Jedi lore videos and all that good stuff. We have coffee chat, literature review, which the date and time will be announced. I have to talk to my panel about that. So we are reviewing Visions of the Future, which is book 2 of the Hand of Thrawn duology. And they are thick books. And so I want to give everybody ample time to read fully so they can enjoy and have a full assessment on the lore of it and, what they feel about it as well. And so if anybody in the chat wants to follow along, you can find it on Audible, but it's abridged, which means it's very plot heavy. There'll be some stuff missing that we're going to discuss. You can even, purchase the book. It's still available. You can find it with or without the Legends banner, just depending on how much money you want to spend. Or if you can find them cheap, you can find them cheap. In fact, Stig and I were going through, hardcovers of Star Wars novels that are very cheap. So you just have to look.
Yeah, just go on eBay and search for the cheapest option, and look for your Star Wars novels and whatever else. Tori found a bunch of them, a bunch of hardcovers for $5 each, I think it was, and free shipping. Yeah.
So so it's all out there for you to still have, find. So if you don't have them, I recommend picking them up. If you haven't started collecting EU novels, original EU, I would suggest, go ahead and do that, because the more time passes, there may be some novels or some part of the lore that's not going to be republished. Like, a lot of the young readers stuff is not being republished right now. So, hello, OG. How is she cutting? Huh? I don't understand your thing there. But yeah, so again, you can find me here. Literature review will be coming up in the middle of February. The date when time will be announced. And you can find me on Toxic Femme with the Queen's Council tonight. I probably will be late because I have other things I have to take care of beforehand. So find me on Mads Mama Bear's channel on Queen's Council. It is the 1 anniversary, so should be fun. So come join us as well. So thank you, everybody in chat. If you are just now joining us, I apologize, but we are now coming to a conclusion with this. Again, comics 62 and 63 of the Republic will be reviewed next week, and the story just keeps on getting better. So join us next week. And we look forward every coffee chat. It's so much fun, talk nerdy, just like Stig says. So thank you so much. And you guys have a great day, and may the force be with you.
Take care and be well.